Did Iman prevent tragedy? Yes or no? Yes or no? No. Which shows you what? It shows you what? The trials of this dunya, the tests of this dunya, are not proportional or inversely proportional to your Iman. In fact, as Muslims, we believe that the general rule is the opposite. Hadith in Sahih Bukhari, إن الله تعالى إذا أحب قوما ابتلاهم أشد الناس ابتلاء الأنبياء ثم الأمثل فالأمثل. If Allah loves a person, He shall test them. Those that are tested the most are the prophets, and then those after them, and then those after them. When a test comes down, when life throws you tragedies, when you lose income, you lose a loved one, when there's stress in your life, don't let shaitan come to you and say, oh, this is Allah's punishment against me. Allah hates me. Allah despises me. No, this is not the way the believer thinks. The believer has good thoughts of Allah. Husna dhan billah is a part of Iman. The believer has good thoughts of Allah. Ana inda dhanni abdi bi. You have to think good thoughts of Allah. What do we think then? We think Allah Azza wa Jal is giving me the opportunity to cleanse myself of my sins and raise my ranks. Allah wants to bless me to be a higher place in Jannah. Allah wants to raise my maqam. So this test is meant to bless me to a higher place. How so? Because once you understand the purpose of test, the purpose of pain, anguish, grief, tragedy, why are we tested? تبارك الذي بيده الملك تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة. Why? ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. The purpose of tests is to try you, give you ibtila, to see who amongst you is the best in deeds. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. We're going to test you. Allah is saying in the Quran, you're going to lose life, you're going to lose family, you're going to lose wealth. Allah is saying in the Quran, and give good news to the sabirin. I will reward the sabirin. ألف لام ميم أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون ولقد فتنا الذين من قبلهم فلا يعلمن الله الذين صدقوا ولا يعلمن الكاذبين. Did man think he would be left alone without being tested? Did you think Allah created you for a joke? Allah created you for no reason? No, we tested the people before you. Why aren't we going to test you? And the purpose of the test, to see who amongst you is truthful when they say they believe, and who is faking, lying, who is a hypocrite. The purpose of a test is very clear. You know, I'm a professor in my day job. I teach students. What do I do at the end of the semester? I test them. I give them a quiz. What is the purpose of the test? To see who studied, who didn't study. To see if they know the material, they don't know the material. Allah is saying to us, life is a test. And the purpose of life and the tests of life, لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. He's going to test you to see your amal. Do you have iman in Allah? Do you have sabr? Do you have yaqeen? Do you have ikhlas? Do you have tawakkul? Do you have dua? Are all of these aspects of iman going to be manifested at times of tragedy? Will you demonstrate true iman in Allah, sabr in Allah, turning to Allah? Or will you turn your back and walk away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? This is the purpose of tests. Tests are meant to draw out your iman, to show Allah, I am a believer. To show Allah, I will demonstrate all of these characteristics of iman and taqwa and inaba and ikhlas and sabr and yaqeen. All of this must be demonstrated. How will it be demonstrated? It will be demonstrated in your reaction to the test. The test itself, the tragedy itself, the calamity is not a sign Allah loves you or hates you. Because Allah sends calamities to those whom He loves. And Allah sends calamities to those whom He hates. Understand this point. Understand this point. Allah sends down calamities to believers and to disbelievers. That is not sifting the good from the bad. The calamity, the tragedy is not testing in and of itself. It is the response. The response. Ibn al-Qayyim mentions in his famous book, Manazil al-Sa'irin, منازل السائرين بين منازل مدارج السالكين بين منازل إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين مدارج السالكين مدارج السالكين. Ibn al-Qayyim mentions, if a test and a tragedy allows the believer to come closer to Allah, their ikhlas, their ibadah, their relationship with Allah becomes stronger, then realize this test was a blessing that Allah gave to the believer and not a punishment. Because anything that draws you closer to Allah is a gift that Allah gave you. How can it be a punishment? Anything that makes you a better Muslim, makes you think about the purpose of life, makes you rediscover the beauty of salah, makes you want to wake up for Fajr and make dua to Allah. Any tragedy that renews your iman is not a tragedy, it is a gift, it is a blessing. Allah wanted to gift you and raise your ranks. And that is why sabr is demonstrated during tragedy. And we'll talk about sabr later on, what exactly is it. So, the first principle or rule that we learn from the seerah is that the seerah teaches us life is full of tragedy. And your iman, in and of itself, has nothing to do with the tragedy. Allah can test you and you have good iman, and Allah can punish you and you have bad iman. The difficulty, the musibah, the calamity does not indicate Allah's mercy or Allah's adab. It is your response. And if you respond in the right manner, then that calamity is a mercy in disguise. Allah wanted you closer to Himself. And so Allah Azza wa Jal, we were living heedless lives, callous lives. So Allah removed something dear to us so that the callousness is lifted. Our eyes are opened. We say in America, wake up and smell the coffee. Means you're doing something, you're in ghafla. You have to wake up and be in the real life. Sometimes life becomes so easy, our heart becomes hard. But Allah knows we're better than this, and Allah wants to raise our ranks. So Allah sends down a small difficulty, the loss of wealth, the loss of life, some personal pain, some anguish, some relationship issue. And we realize we need Allah. So we turn to Allah and we create a new ta'alluq and relationship with Allah. And we start loving that relationship. And we realize this is why Allah sent that tragedy down. Because I had lost that relationship with Allah, and Allah wanted me to rediscover that relationship. This is not a punishment. This is a blessing. Now, before I move on, question. If when Allah loves somebody, He tests them, as the Prophet ﷺ said, and if, as the Prophet ﷺ said, those that are beloved to Allah are tested the most, should we desire more difficulty? Should we ask Allah, send it down? Yes or no? Should we want life to be even more difficult? No. You are correct, no. But then how do we resolve this conflict? Because there seems to be a contradiction. What is the contradiction? If Allah loves somebody, He tests them. Do you want to be beloved to Allah? Yes or no? Yes. Do you want more tests? This is the contradiction. How do you resolve this contradiction? Do you understand the question, right? How do you resolve this contradiction? Very simple. Listen and listen carefully.